H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am, I'm sure I am. I'm H-A-P-P-Y.
I know I am, I'm sure I am. He's H-A-P-P-Y.
Oh, dear.
I wish he'd stop sighing. I'm trying to work.
What are you doing?
Well, I thought now I'm out of a job, I ought to try and get a few more O-levels.
Good for you, Norman. How many O-levels have you got?
You mean including divinity?
Yes.
1.
Oh. Well, what are you studying now?
Geography.
Geography? Well, if you need any help, you know who to come to.
You, Fig?
Yes, why not? I know quite a bit about geography. Where's Zambia?
Zambia. Don't tell me.
I'm not going to.
It was something else, wasn't it?
You're getting warm.
Is that a clue? I know the Congo.
No, that's Zaire.
Zaire? Then what happened to the Gold Coast?
That's Ghana.
I thought that was Nyasaland.
No, that's Malawi. You're not very good, are you?
Well, I'm just picking up the threads. You can't expect me to know everything.
All right, here's a catch. Where's Montenegro?
Mozambique.
No, Yugoslavia.
Oh, fancy falling for that one.
Why don't you get back to sighing, Glover?
Educational standards have certainly declined since my day.
All right, it's a tricky one for you then, Archie. A Dutch aeroplane carrying English passengers over France crashes on the Italian border. Now, the question is, where would they bury the survivors?
Now, I want to think about this one. I don't want to answer it off the cuff. English passengers on a Dutch plane crash on a French-Italian border. Where would they bury the survivors? Probably a very tricky question of international law here.
No, it isn't. You don't bury the survivors.
He's right, Archie. There'd be a few complaints.
Oh, what a rotten question. Fancy asking me a rotten question like that when I'm not well.
How are you feeling, Archie?
Not too good, Figures.
Well, you don't look too good. What are your symptoms?
Well, I'm weak and feverish. My eyes are sore and there's no feeling in my hands.
Oh, let's see. Oh, yes, your little fingers are quite cold. You need topping up.
Topping up?
Sure sign of galloping anemia. I'll have a word with the doctor.
Figures, I hope you don't think I'm pulling rank, but do you think I could examine Glover first today?
Of course, doctor.
After all, it is my job to treat the sick.
I'll have a pint.
What's that, Figures?
Nothing, doctor.
Let's have a look at you, Glover.
These eyes are inflamed.
I'll be inflamed if you don't get back into bed, Figures. I see from these tests, Glover, that you're grossly anemic. We shall have to give you a blood transfusion.
Transfusion?
What did I tell you?
Be quiet, Figures.
You mean having someone else's blood in my body?
Well, that's the way we normally do it, Glover.
A total stranger, someone I don't even know.
There are no time for introductions, and the blood donors have no significance. If it helps you, think of it as tomato juice.
Tomato juice? I don't think you understand, Doctor. My blood is my inheritance, handed down from the Plantagenets, from generation to generation. Up to now, I've managed to hang on to it. I can't afford to have it tainted by just anyone.
Well, it won't be just anyone, Glover. You're a very rare blood group.
Oh. Am I really?
Yes, AB negative.
AB negative?
A group that covers only 3% of the population.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised, and I suppose that does make a difference. At least it won't be any Tom, Dick, or Harry.
Good. I'll put you down for 2 pints, Glover.
Did you hear that, Figgis? They're going to give me 2 pints of AB negative.
Yes, I understand that's an excellent vintage. They're probably down in the cellars now, brushing off the cobwebs of a bottle of Chateau Glover.
I wonder who the donor is.
It could be anybody, Archie.
Hardly, Figgis. We're only 3% of the population.
I'm a blood donor.
You, Norman? Do you mean to say there are people walking about with your blood inside them?
Yes, I suppose so.
Incredible.
Oh, don't scoff, Archie. Norman wanted to help his fellow man, didn't you, Norman?
Yes.
Yes.
And I thought it might help to stop me blushing.
What group are you, Norman?
Oh, It's the most common.
Yes, I thought it might be. What does the O stand for? Ordinary?
There's no need for you to be so superior, Archie, just because you're AB negative. After all, blood's blood.
Not with my lineage, Figgis. There's blue blood in these veins.
What do you think we've got, dandelion and burdock?
I mean, I have breeding.
And what's that got to do with this? This is a hospital, not bleeding crufts. We all have the same origins, Archie. We all came out of the slime.
Well, you may have come out of the slime, Figgis. I certainly didn't.
Clever, we struck a snag.
I knew it. We can't get the cork out.
We don't appear to have any of your blood at the moment.
Don't have any? What am I going to do?
Well, don't worry, Clever. We've discovered another AB negative in the hospital. There's no reason why he shouldn't give you some blood.
Another AB negative here? Well, I must meet him at once.
We already have. It's Figgis.
Where's Figgis?
He's resting. He wants to keep his strength up for this afternoon for when he gives you his blood.
Oh, I wish you'd stop saying that, Norman.
I wonder if this makes you blood brothers.
What?
That's what the Indians used to do. Cut their arms, bind them together, and become blood brothers, sworn to defend each other's teepees.
Well, I don't want to defend his TP. I don't want to be his blood brother. In fact, I don't even want his blood.
Then you'd better say something before it's too late.
Well, it's not as easy as that. It's not like cancelling the milk, Norman. I mean, he's bound to be hurt. It's just that I can't bear the thought of Figgis's blood running around inside my body. I'm having nightmares about it.
Hello, Archie. All ready for this afternoon?
Oh, look, Figgis, about this afternoon. Now, we've been friends for some time now, Roy. So, I think I can say this. The truth is, I can't take your blood.
Don't worry, Archie. I'll be all right. I'm taking iron tablets.
No, you don't understand. I don't want it.
What?
Well, it's a wonderful gesture, Roy, and I do appreciate it, but we're so different.
You don't want my blood?
No, Roy.
You mean you're throwing my blood back in my face?
Well, not exactly.
The blood of good yeoman stock, the backbone of England?
Well, don't take it like that.
Blood that was shed at Agincourt on the Somme and Passchendaele? Not good enough for you, then?
No, I didn't say
Oh,
that.
there's gratitude for you. Do you know what I hope, Clever? I hope you shrivel up like a prune. Will you come in, Roman?
What was all that about, Clever? We could hear you on the side of the hospital.
I just told Figgis I didn't want his blood.
What?
And, I wondered whether there was an alternative.
Well, it's funny you should ask that, Clever, but quite by chance, we've discovered yet another AB negative in the hospital, one of the doctors.
One of the doctors? Well, that's more like it.
He's on the golf course at the moment, medal round. But I could try and get hold of him.
Well, I really think we should make the effort, Doctor. After all, a professional man, a man of intellect, someone I can relate to.
Yes, of course. Dr. Sun Chang is one of the most eminent men in this field.
Sun who?
Sun Chang.
Sun Chang, yes. Well, on second thoughts, it seems a pity to drag him off the golf course, particularly if he's in the middle of a medal round. Perhaps I could make do with Figgis's blood after all.
Well, that's very democratic of you, Clever. I suggest you apologize to Figgis at once.
Apologize?
Yes, we'd like to get a couple of pints into you before you start to wilt.
Oh, Figgis, old chap, come to apologize.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Realise I've offended you. Spoke without thinking. Truth is, I would consider it a privilege to have your blood.
Would you really?
Yes.
Well, you're not having it.
No, I really would like your blood, honestly.
Keep away from me, Dracula.
Oh, please, Figgis. I implore you. I'm a sick man. I must have your blood.
But what about my humble origins? Don't they worry you?
No. No, that's just what I need, humble origins. You see, the Glovers were getting far too inbred. Oh, please, Roy, it's a matter of life or death.
A matter of life or death? Well, as soon as you put it like that, I might squeeze you a couple of pints. Won't be long now, Archie. Expect I'll be going down in a minute. You'll soon have a drop of the old Chateau Ficus coursing round the old arteries. You'll feel the benefit. It's a modest little blood, but I think you'll be amused by its presumption.
I won't be amused by its presumption, Figgis.
It's strange, really. Archie's having your blood in his veins and he hardly knows you. After centuries, the blood of the Glovers and the Figgises is about to mix.
Oh, shut up, Norman.
Both from different worlds. Archie from the aristocracy and you, Fig. What did your father do?
He worked on the drains.
On the drain.
No need to look like that, Archie. He may have been poor, but he was a good father to us. Till the drink got him.
You mean he drank?
Only at the end. I think he was working on the drains. Well, you never know what you're going to find.
I might have guessed it. This blood is going to be 20% brown ale.
No. Meths, actually.
Meths?
Well, don't worry, Archie. It didn't impair his intellect. He was lucid right till the end. Not like Uncle Morris.
Uncle Morris?
His brother. He was the funny one. He thought his head was on the wrong way round.
What? How can you think your head is on the wrong way round?
I don't know, but he did. He wore his shirt and ties back to front. He kept walking into things. He even tried to turn it round again. Nearly broke his neck.
Good heavens. What a family. What was your mother like?
Wonderful. She was a wonderful woman, my mother. Except for her feet. She had terrible feet. She was a martyr to her feet. Well, be any minute now. Archie, don't they want me down there yet?
We're not quite ready for you yet, Mr. Figgis.
Well, I can't say I'm looking forward to it.
You've got nothing to worry about, Archie. I know, I've had it.
What, are you saying that you've had a blood transfusion?
Yeah, so some years ago, I had an accident on the loading bay. I got my arm trapped. Lost a lot of blood. Of course, I didn't know at the time that I was something special. I just knew they brought this bloke in to give me a couple of pints. A nice fella. Winston Elroy Jones. The West Indian.
West Indian?
You mean you're part West Indian, Fig?
Well, yes, I suppose you could say that. A quarter, to be precise.
If you're a quarter West Indian, what's this going to make me?
1/16th West Indian.
Well, your geography may not be much good, Norman, but there's nothing wrong with your maths.
1/16th West Indian?
Don't worry, Archie, it'll do you good. Winston had a wonderful physique, and he was a very good fast bowler. You know, I always felt I could get those crates onto the lorry much better afterwards.
You mean it really does have an effect on your metabolism?
Well, of course, yes. I'm so if you have the sudden desire to go limbo dancing under the lavatory door, don't be surprised.
Dr. Thorpe.
What's the matter, Glover?
I'm afraid I can't go through with it. I had no idea what was in Figgis's blood. A father who drank, a mother with bad feet, an uncle who thought his head was on the wrong way round, and a West Indian fast bowler. My system can't stand a combination like that.
It won't have to, Glover.
What?
I'm sorry to say there's been a slip-up in the hematology department. It's not you who needs the blood. It's Figgis.
I know I am, I'm sure I am. I hate H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am, I'm sure I am. H-A-P-P-Y.
Well, it won't be long now, Roy.
What won't?
The transfusion.
Oh, that.
Yes, they'll be calling for me soon.
Good.
And I just wanted you to know I'm giving a quart, Roy.
You mean 2 pints?
Well, 2 pints is a quart. Sounds rather a lot, doesn't it? Not that I mind. Anything for a friend.
Yes, well, thank you, Archie.
No, don't give me your thanks. I'm not doing it for thanks, and they seem to think I'm strong enough, Roy, but if anything should go wrong, no regrets.
Well, don't worry, Archie. I'll be all right.
Well, of course you'll be all right. I'm the one who's giving the blood. I just don't want you to have any reproaches, that's all. You see, The Glovers are used to making sacrifices. It's not the first time we've been asked to shed our blood for others.
Yes, well, I do appreciate it, Archie.
And it's not every day one is instrumental in saving another's life.
Yes, well, I wouldn't put it as strongly as that, Archie.
No matter how humble that life may be.
Yes, well, I hope you don't think I'm too humble, Archie.
And not anymore. I mean, after this, you'll be one of us.
What?
Yes, a sort of cousin, I suppose.
Oh, God.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, come on, cheer up, Figgis. It won't be long before you have 2 pints of good Tory blood coursing through your veins.
Tory blood?
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if you vote Conservative at the next election.
But, Archie...
No, don't try and thank me again. Well, I'd better get off now and rest. Conserve my strength. Oh, good luck, Roy.
Could I have a word, Doctor?
What is it, Figgis?
I don't want Glover's blood.
You don't what? But I thought you'd been after it ever since you got here, Figgis.
You know what I mean, Doctor? It's nothing personal, but he's a Conservative.
What's that got to do with
Well,
it?
you see, I'm up for convener this year. And I can't afford to be tainted with Tory blood. What would people say if they found out? Besides, it might prey on my mind. I could find myself agreeing with management and settling for 5%.
Look, Figgis, I've already explained to you, the blood you receive won't have those characteristics. We don't transfer genes with a blood transfusion.
Yes, you know that, Doctor, and I know that, but I'm not so sure about the shop stewards. I mean, if it should get out, and there's another thing. You know what Archie's like. He'd probably expect to get paid for it. And when he finds out there's no money in it, well, he might want his blood back. Now, I can give you the address of this West Indian. He's a good socialist. I've had a couple of pints of his once, and it's very good stuff. I've never had a cold since.
Oh, I see. So you've got no objections to blood on ethnic grounds, Figgis?
Oh, no, certainly not.
Then perhaps I can get hold of Dr. Sun Chang.
Sun Chang? Is he Chinese?
He's not the last of the Habsburgs, Figgis. You've no objection to him being Chinese.
Certainly not. I couldn't get more yellow than I am now.
Good. Well, I'll try and get hold of him, but you'll have to settle things with Glover.
Oh, right, Doctor. Oh, Doctor?
Yes, Figgis?
This Dr. Sun Chang, you don't know what his politics are?
I think he's SDP.
Well, you can't have everything, I suppose.
Oh, don't look so worried, Roy. Help it's on its way. It won't be long before you have the blood of the Plantagenets coursing through your veins.
Yes, I've been meaning to talk to you about that, Archie. Are you sure you can spare it? I mean, you don't look well.
That's because I'm not well, Roy. But your need is greater than mine. You know, Norman was right. It's a wonderful feeling being a blood donor. And just to think my blood is going to help save your life. And when I see you tripping around this ward, fit and well, I shall think, there goes a little bit of me.
No, you won't, Archie.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not having your blood.
But I've already given it.
Oh? Well, can't they put it back?
Of course not. Oh. Well, if you're not having my blood, whose blood are you having?
Dr. Chang's.
Dr. Chang's? You must be mad, Figgis. You could have had the blood of the men who stood by William at Hastings, who fought their way with blood-stained swords across the breadth of England, who bowed to no man but their liege, whose cry was God and the King, who raised Henry Tudor to the throne and exiled the Stuarts. You could have had all that. And you prefer the tenor of the tongues.
Bad news, I'm afraid, Figgis. Apparently Dr. Chang had a hole-in-one today, and that meant drinks all round. They say he's now 90% proof. It looks as though you're going to have to have Glover's blood after all.
Oh, no.
How do you feel, Figgis?
I don't feel any different.
Oh, you will. It's a lovely colour, isn't it? Look at the way it sparkles. Pity they had to put it in a plastic bag.
I would expect Waterford crystal.
It's not going down very fast.
No, that's because his body's savouring it. His corpuscles are probably staring at it in amazement.
Don't get carried away, Archie. I'd settle for a few more miles to the gallon.
That's not 4-star petrol, Figgis. It's the blood of my ancestors.
What were your ancestors like, Archie?
Oh, individuals, every one of them. You must have heard of Mad Jack Glover.
Mad Jack Glover?
Oh, yes. He was the last earl to be hanged by a silken rope for beating to death 3 footmen and a butler.
I don't feel well.
And then, of course, there was Grenville Glover. He had more of a mechanical bent. He invented the first man trap.
Oh.
But the pride of place goes to hanging Judge Glover. He executed 55 rebels after the Monmouth Rebellion and then sat down and ate a hearty breakfast.
Yes, the screams.
What's the matter?
You'll have to
Figures?
disconnect me, Doctor. I'm suffering a reaction.
No, you're not, Figures. If you'll allow me a play on words, you're suffering a reactionary.
Oh, how's Figures this morning, Norman?
Why don't you ask him?
Well, I can't find him. It's almost as though he's avoiding me.
Perhaps he's tired of thanking you.
Well, I don't want his thanks. I may have saved his life, but I don't want his thanks. I must say, it is a wonderful feeling being a blood donor, Norman. I can quite see why it appealed to you.
Look, I may have donated my blood, Archie, but I never knew who got it, and if I did, I certainly wouldn't follow them around asking how my blood was today.
Now, Norman, we mustn't quarrel. We blood donors must stick together. I mean, you may just be an ordinary O, and I may be an AB negative, but we mustn't let that come between us. I just wanted to observe Figures, that's all. You see, since he's had my blood, I think there's been a change in him.
What sort of a change?
Well, he seems quieter, more dignified. Hello, Roy. How are you? How's the blood this morning?
Fine, thanks.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but when one's been instrumental in saving someone's life, one can't help taking an interest in them.
No, I quite understand, Archie. As a matter of fact, I feel a new man.
Oh, Figures. Those pajamas.
Yeah, exquisite, ain't they?
Very nice, Roy.
Yes, well, I thought I'd cheer myself up. I had a bad night last night. Oh, look at those eyes. Oh, it's the old trouble, I'm afraid.
What trouble?
Didn't you sleep, Roy?
No, tossing and turning all night long. I've got to face it, Norman. I'm too sensitive, too highly strung.
Figures.
Mother came again last night.
What?
All dressed in white she was, and do you know what she said? Never mind, my son. Your suffering will soon be over, and you'll know perfect rest.
How are her feet, Figures?
No, there's no trouble with her feet, not anymore. And do you know why, Archie? Because she had a pair of the finest silken wings that I have ever seen.
Now look here, Figures.
Oh, lovely, gladioli. Aren't they beautiful, Archie? Just look at the perfect symmetry of those petals.
I didn't know you liked flowers, Fig.
Oh, what is life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare.
Figures.
No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep and cows.
I'm warning you,
No
Figures.
time to see in woods we pass where squirrels hide their nuts in grass.
Are you taking the...
Please, Archie, no vulgarity.
Are you having a go at me, Figures?
Having a go at you, the man who probably saved my life. What a thing to say. Silly boy.
Well, it certainly seemed like it.
What are you talking about? How do you think it's coming, Archie?
What?
The moustache.
Let me get at him.
Scarrow, why are you chasing Figures?
I'm going to get my blood back the hard way.
I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am, I'm sure I am. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. Yes, I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am, I'm sure I am. I'm H-A-P-P-Y. Oh, yes, I'm H-A-P-P-Y. Yes, I'm H-A-P-P-Y. I know I am, I'm sure I am. Yes, I'm H-A-P-P, only when I lie. H-A-P-P-Y.